Since February, Australian troops have been pressing against enemy defenses at Samoa. Then came the American landing at Nassau Bay, where the doughboys joined forces with the diggers and launched an assault on Mount Tambu and Roosevelt Ridge. The Americans quickly established themselves and, with Aussie gunners, turned on New Guinea's hottest artillery barrage to date. Japs are foxholed throughout that rugged country, but life has suddenly become very unpleasant for them. The doughboys took Roosevelt Ridge like Grant took Richmond. Parties are mopping up the positions. Japanese held up to half an hour ago. The long campaign against Samoa is culminating, and the township finally fell to militiamen who swam a river to get to it. First move in a strategic masterpiece was the landing of men of the famous 9th Division behind the enemy's positions at Lae. A big convoy of invasion ships and barges, strongly protected by units of the American Navy, steams up the coast. Cameraman Bill Carty goes with them to get a hot story. Diggers refuse to let the imminence of a battle affect their appetites. In the early morning light, the convoy heads in towards Red Beach, the appointed landing area. American destroyers open up on the beach to clear a way for the invading troops. There go the barges. Navy shells burst along the shoreline as the vessels go in. But there's little opposition from the beach. Jap planes. Belatedly, a few appear in an endeavor to counter the landing, but they're not in the hunt, and 3 out of 6 go flaming down into the ocean. Casualties were few and damage to ships slight. Packed with diggers spoiling for a fight, they haven't seen the real thing since Alamein, the barges dashed for the beach. Many are manned by American crews, and Aussies were loud in their praises of the work of American Navy men. Up on the beach, but there's no withering fire from the jungle. What Japs were there are going hell for leather for Lae. Transport presents super problems, but Army engineers tackle the job with a customary aplomb and bad language. But bridge building in a spot like that would bring the worst out in a Puritan, and Army engineers aren't Puritans. Very heavy guns were put ashore as a headache for the Nips. They proved to be a backache for the Aussies. But diggers swore louder and pushed harder, and the big berthers went into position. Using the beach as a roadway at low tide had its disadvantages, but the beach was better than the jungle despite frequent boggings. The ubiquitous Jeep took all obstacles in its stride. Well, what do you know? Or am I wrong? No, you can't keep a good Jeep down. Lae lies on that distant flat. Offshore, American PT boats skim over a placid sea in tireless patrol. These ships have done outstanding work in the Solomons, and more will undoubtedly be heard of them in the New Guinea campaign.